Hello, I'm Cerise, and I want to welcome you to my new try-on haul. This try-on haul is a bit special and different from all the others, because a while ago I already made this try-on haul. But it's still not the same. I basically went shopping and realized that all of the clothes that I got have a lot of potential if I alter them. So I changed up all of my clothes to make them actually fit me, or I altered all of my clothes so they actually fit and can reach their full potential. I tried all of them on for you. I did a before and an after so you can really see the change for everyone who's thinking about altering their clothes so they can actually fit your special body and look way better. I'm gonna tell you exactly where you have to put all of your seams and what you have to do to achieve this goal. And we're going to start very easy with a mini skirt. My favorite pieces of clothing are always mini skirts, especially now in summer. There's no better clothing item. But what a lot of us girls experience is that they are a bit loose on the waist, and here is a very easy fix. You can even do it with thread and needle, but I did it with the sewing machine. It's a little bit safer and a lot faster. All I did were 2 seams. Sometimes you can even only get away with 1, but I like to have it look symmetrical, so I added 2 seams in the back right here. And what I did was I flipped the skirt inside out and then take the back or the sides. Check where you feel like there's more of a gap once you wear it. For this skirt, I chose the back. I looked for the middle in this mini skirt, and then again, the 2 middles right here. Then I folded the skirt and I created this triangle like this, and this. This is the seam I added. I added a diagonal seam. Make sure that it doesn't go like this and then like that. Make sure it has a smooth transition. And because this has this very stretchy material here with stretchy threads, I decided to use a zigzag stitch because that leaves room for more stretch because it's zigzag. And I didn't cut off the excess fabric because all of these stretchy threads that were already in the fabric would probably get loose, which would be horrible. You don't want to break the actual fabric. So I kept the extra fabric, but because it isn't a lot, it actually helped making the skirt a little bit more snug, and now it actually fits. And this is how you can transform a boxy mini skirt that has a gap into the perfect mini skirt for your shape. As you can see, the skirt has a box shape and I want to change that, so let's turn it inside out first. And here we can easily spot the middle because it's right where the tags are, and I want the middle of the middle, right there. We want to keep it symmetrical. Fold the fabric and pin it in a triangular shape, but make sure that the points end in a gradual line. Of course, I recommend putting it out first and pulling the fabric to see how much you can take away, but I don't really measure it. I do it by eye. And I use a zigzag stitch because this is supposed to be a stretchy fabric. And in the end, you can see me do a backwards and forward stitch to secure the ends. Depending on how strong your threads are, if you just use a regular stitch on stretchy fabric and stretch it too much, they can rip. And boom, this is the end result. Alright, here is me modeling the before, and when I was walking, it would rise up until about here and leave this gap in my back. And I don't want anyone look down the gap in my back. It's weird. I don't like it. This is the before and the after. It fits perfectly. I'm so happy with this. I don't know why my stance is like that. I was trying to move slowly so you can really see the difference, and I love it. It's nicely and it's on my back. You know, there's no gap anymore. I'm so happy about that. This is such a cute little mini skirt. It's perfect for summer. And if you're wondering where I got this from, this is from H&M. And I love it so much. It's mini and fits perfectly now. Yippee! Next is a little bit of a more complicated dress, but it honestly is super easy once I explain everything to you. So this was just too big for me overall. I always have the problem with the waist because my hips are actually wide, which means that I have to get a size that my hip fits, but then the waist is like too loose. So my personal problem is that is my difference between waist and hips, but everyone has their own problems. For this dress, it was just too big overall, and I'm gonna tell you how you can take your dress from being too big to perfect. All right, this has the same exact stretchy material in the back as the skirt does. That means that I can't really cut off the excess fabric because it would ruin the stretchy threads and all this fabric in the back. On top of that, if you have to take away a lot of fabric, I recommend to not only do 1 or 2 seams. Honestly, I always recommend doing 2 seams that are symmetrical over just 1 in the middle or 1 on the side. But if you have to take away a lot of fabric, I recommend 4 seams. I recommend 2 in the back and 2 on the sides. And this is exactly what I did here. And it's almost invisible if the seams are visible. It honestly just looks like a more high quality piece of clothing. All you have to make sure is that they are straight and not like wonky. So yes, I added these 2 seams here inside the stretchy material. I don't know, did I do zigzag here? Yes, I did a zigzag stitch. And I added another one here and here, and I made sure not to go over the side seam that you can see oftentimes around the bust area, although this is the back. Let me turn the dress inside out so I can show you something very important. So this is a dress, not a skirt. With the skirt, we added almost like a triangular shape, but when it's a dress, obviously there's a top attached. So instead of a triangle, it doesn't stop here. It goes all the way to the top, so it's almost like an oval with 2 points. Also make sure that those gradually go into the line with the dress. So with the stretchy material, I added 2 little ovals here. And for the 3rd and 4th seam, I made sure to have it on top of the material that isn't stretchy so that I can actually cut off some of the excess fabric so it isn't too bulky. I made sure not to cross the skirt here and also not to cross the seam right here, but as you can see right here, there are 4 seams that I added, and the way you stitch this before you sew it is super easy too. Just like the mini skirt, you turn it inside out and then you find the middles so that they are symmetrical, and then you just fold it like this. I like to stitch it a little bit away from where the actual seam is gonna be, so I can just sew along it with the sewing machine, and then I can cut off the excess fabric. But because this dress really was too big, I also had to change the sleeves. Making the sleeves tighter was super easy. All I had to do was turn it inside out, fold it, pin it, sew it, and cut off the excess. And now I have shorter sleeves. But that wasn't everything. There was another part about this dress that I didn't love, and it was the length of the skirt. This is the beautiful skirt, and as you can see the back of it. Because the front is shorter, this is a double-lined skirt, which is perfect. It keeps the skirt from being see-through, especially for bright fabrics like white fabrics. I wanted the front to basically be shorter than the back, so I just cut the same amount off on the top fabric as well as the underlining fabric. Make sure that the underlining fabric doesn't peek out, so it doesn't look like this. Make sure it's like 2 or 3 centimeters shorter, but it already was like that, which meant that I had to cut off the same amount of fabric, if that makes sense. So yeah, ever since I changed up this dress, this has been one of my faves and go-tos for this summer. Starting with the sleeves, I pinned the top, and then there's a part that I forgot to mention earlier. I actually pinned the sides too. You can definitely do that if the holes are too loose. The regular stitch, and now I can cut off the excess but leave a little bit of space. And apparently I'm already sewing the ovals on the side, but I'm going to give you a closer look on how to do this when I do the blue dress. But because this is regular non-stretchy fabric, I can just cut off the excess and leave a little bit of space so you don't cut off your stitches or the fraying edges don't go all the way to your stitches. And now to the middle fabric. I found the 2 middles, then I folded them and added this little oval, and now I'm sewing along the pins. And I'm using a zigzag stitch because this is also stretchy fabric. Cutting the sleeves already made the skirt a bit shorter, but I wanted the front to be shorter too, so I cut off some of the front and I'm closing that off with a stitch too. Alright, modeling the before. Yeah, it looks so weird. Like, this does not fit at all, to be honest. When I bought this, I didn't even try it on, but I just saw the potential in this dress. I bought it without trying it on because it's such a cute dress in theory. If I just change it up a little bit here and there, and ta-da! Oh my goodness, I feel like such a Barbie right now. It looks like it was supposed to look, and it's a little bit shorter in the front than in the back. I love it so much. There's no weird gap on my back. I'm actually very weird about fabric and the way it touches me. I have to have a fabric around my waist, otherwise I get super uncomfortable. And like this, I feel so much more comfortable and I'm really happy. Next is a gorgeous blue dress. What I didn't like about this one was that it was loose around my waist. And that was basically it, which made this alteration very easy. As you can see, I added 1 and 2 seams right here. This fabric is super stretchy. This dress is a double-lined dress too, so I pinned the underlining to the fabric on top just so it doesn't slide around before I folded it and added these little ovals. What's different about this one is, yes, this is stretchy, but it doesn't have any of these stretchy threads in it that could break easily when you cut them off. So I honestly didn't even use this exact stitch. I used the regular stitch and I was even able to cut off the excess fabric. If you want, you can close the fraying edges, but honestly I didn't care. This fabric doesn't really fray as much, so it's fine like this. This is what it looks like in the back. Again, you can also do it on the sides. It also looks very beautiful there, but I just have the biggest difference in the back, and this made it perfect. Let's take a closer look at these little ovals that I make around the waist for dresses. First, you want to try the dress on and flip it inside out like I did here. And now you want to find the middles and mark them. You can use pins or you can use sewing chalk. So this is chalk and I'm using the respective color for the fabric, which is blue. And as you can see, this is a double lined skirt. And I don't want the underlining to slide around and ruin the stitch. So I'm just fixing the 2 lines together, as you can see here. And I'm also marking the middles with pins. Now you can see I created a little oval. I need less fabric on the lower end and only a little bit less fabric on the top. That's why this is a very weirdly shaped oval. But now all I have to do is create the exact same oval on the other side to keep it symmetrical. Once I'm done pinning all of this, all I have to do is take this to the sewing machine and stitch along the lines. While this fabric is stretchy, I think it should be fine to use a regular stitch because it's just 2 seams and there aren't any like super stretchy threads or whatever. It should be fine with a regular stitch. Leave a little bit of space. And now let's take this to the sewing machine. You can see it's super easy to just sew along the pins, and you don't have to use pins. You can also mark your fabric with a pencil. Just make sure that it's not visible once you turn it inside out or anything like that. And boom, we're done. But before I cut off the excess fabric, I'm turning it inside out, I'm trying it on. Now, when you try it on now, it's going to have like some wrinkles that you're not going to have once you cut off the excess fabric. But of course, you want to try it on to see if it even fits. And if it doesn't fit, you can open the stitches again and redo the whole thing. Mine fits, so now I can cut off a little bit and leave the seam allowance, I guess. So because you will have some fraying edges depending on what fabric that your dress is made out of. And this is the finished product. Now I have a little bit more of a cinched waist and I'm very happy. Oh, look at the before. It looks like a nightgown. It just does not look right. Like, it doesn't do anything for me. Clothes are supposed to do something for you, okay? Don't do something for clothes. Clothes are supposed to support you, not the other way around. And this just does nothing for me. Should I make it a little bit shorter? The sleeves? I don't know yet. And this is the result. I only changed the waist. It fits nicely and it looks so good. I love the length, the way that it was. I just left it like that. If you want to make a dress shorter with a lettuce hem, you just have to pull the dress while it is sewing. so you can get this lettuce hem effect. But look how nicely it fits. Yippee! On to the next one. Last but not least, this gorgeous pom-pom dress. At first I thought I would want to have shorter sleeves for this one, but I decided I liked the way it looked with longer sleeves. But what I did have to change was the back. Let me turn this inside out too. Alright, this is the back. How many seams can you count that look like they have a little bit more fabric? 4. Okay, I think you can see it now. 4 seams. What I absolutely love about altering my clothes is that I can literally make them fit like a glove to my body, and you can do it too. It's so easy. I literally used to sit on my computer, watch YouTube with thread and needle, and alter all of my mini skirts by hand, and it worked. Now I have a sewing machine that's much faster, but you can do it too. I recommend it a lot. And it's also a way to give your clothes a longer lifespan if your body has changed in a way. You can add and remove or whatever. You know, you can change the shape, whatever your needs are. This is a one size fits all dress, and as we know, one size does not fit all, duh. For this dress, the back as well as the waist was a little bit too loose. What can we see here? Here we can see the seams had to go all the way to the end of the top. This is the end of the back, or the start, however you want to see it. That means that we're not going to need a little oval. We can actually do a little triangle, but the triangle can be all different shapes. For the miniskirt, the top was pretty wide, and then it pretty quickly turned into a point. But the triangle that I used here was more like a long triangle that at the end went into a point. I don't know if I can explain it. This is just to tell you that you can do many different alterations, and yeah, they all work. Here I couldn't cut off the excess fabric because what do we see here? The waistband has this stretchy material that has stretchy threads in it. So I left all of the excess fabric here. It's honestly not too bad. It helps make the dress fit a little bit more snug, just like it did with the other one. And now I don't know how to get my dress back. What did I do? The last dress for this video, let's turn it inside out too. Ta-da! The reason why I'm adding 4 seams and not just 2 is because look what would happen if I only added 2. We would get these straps that form a V shape. It can be uncomfortable, and I don't love how it looks. I mean, if you love how it looks and it works for you, you can do that, but I want my straps to be straight on my back, so that's why I added 4, 2 in between the straps and 2 outside of the straps. And this is what it looks like. I'm not going to cut off the excess fabric because of these stretchy threads that would not hold if I cut them in the middle. This is the before. It's just not for me. I mean, yeah, it's okay, but it's not for me. It looks like I went through someone's closet and stole a dress. But no, I didn't steal it. I bought it in the one size fits all, and that just doesn't make sense. So let's change it up a little bit like this. This is how I want it to sit. Ooh, look at this. I feel so much more comfortable. There's fabric on my back. You can't really see the bra strap anymore, but it's still a little bit loose because it is a summer dress, and I don't love super tight fabric in the summer. It's really hot. I love this. I tried to turn it inside out, but it's not working. I'm gonna do that later. I'm super happy with the outcome. I have worn all of these dresses as well as the mini skirt. The mini skirt doesn't rise up as much anymore, or it doesn't look like it because it actually fits nicely now. I'm happy I didn't have to go and get all of my clothes altered because that can really cost a lot of money. And the thing is, we all have our own unique and beautiful body shape. So what I like to do is I like to make clothes fit me. I'm not going to change my body to fit the clothes. And yeah, I'm really happy about the results. I hope you liked them too. And I hope I was able to teach you something about alteration. It's really easy. It can save you money, and it can make all your clothes look better and fit better. Thank you so much for watching. Check out my Patreon. Shout out to my Patreon members. Couldn't do it without ya. And don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and comment in the comment section down below. Bye bye!